another thing that's super cool, little update about me, if you're curious at all. I know I've been mentioning how I've been having like some pretty bad Crohn's issues going on, but luckily yesterday I was able to start a new therapy on top of another drug that like isn't working well. But long story short, the doctors think it's doing something, and they've seen some success with some like it's pretty much experimental treatment at this point, which is kind of, I don't know how I feel about that, but it is what it is. But the good news, I started a new therapy yesterday. Had to go in for an infusion, and it actually, I've done infusion drugs a couple times. This one, maybe it's just because I hadn't done it in a while, but whew, dude, it knocked me on my butt yesterday. I felt pretty weird too. They wanted to keep me a little extra because you know how it be sometimes with doctors and nurses, they make mistakes too. They gave it to me a little too fast, like with the pump, and didn't realize it. And it was like beeping. I was like, damn, that wasn't an hour. That was only like 30 minutes or whatever. It's like it was much faster. And she's like, oh, the pump pumped faster than I meant for it to. And I was like, oh shit. And then I felt fine. And I was like, whatever, no big deal. And then all of a sudden I started like shaking a little. And I was like, I feel kind of weird. And they're like, okay, just hang out for a little bit. It shouldn't be a problem. It might have just dropped your blood pressure, but whatever. Silly, just silly little thing that happened. But it did end up making me feel just wiped out. I felt pretty tired. I slept hard last night. Like my watch, it was like a noticeable difference, because I think it just kind of tanked my immune system, but that's okay. That's kind of the purpose, is to get it to quiet that immune system down. So I'm sharing all this with you because I know I've been mentioning how I've not been feeling great and had some stuff happen lately that I haven't even completely shared, but I'm just trying to be optimistic. I'm happy I was able to get that in. It was kind of a fight with insurance because, as I mentioned, it's experimental. And once you get into that territory, insurance can fall back and be like, we don't want to pay for that. That's not the approved use, essentially. And it's kind of lame. It's a way for them to get out of helping you, but that's their business, and it's a shitty business. So, whatever. I'm trying to be optimistic, though. I'm really hoping this does something. This would be amazing if it did. I would really love that. So we will see. But yeah, just a little kind of happy update I thought I'd share with y'all because that's part of this journey. And like I said from the very beginning, I never want to be fake or dishonest. And that is a very big part of my life right now, as it is, as my doctor said yesterday, we want you to get your life back because this has been a significant hamper on my life, if that makes sense. It's made things difficult. And I just, I say all that because I want to be real and show you, like, despite all of that, it's still possible to get out and be healthy and live a healthy life doing things you love. And I truly do love this shit. I love exercise and fitness, and I love seeing the progress. And, you don't have to love it like I do, but I think even my point is, even with all that crap going on, as I've said before, you can still do the things you love. You can still find a way to do what you can do. Like I always say, I know you guys are probably absolutely sick of me saying that, but that's the truth. You can always do what you can do. You just got to show up and put some effort in. And some days are going to be freaking bad and tough. And maybe you do need a break, and that's fine too. But, even with all this crap, I still find a way to make it happen most of the time, if not all the time. So, yeah. And I'm not saying that to try to make anyone feel bad. I'm trying to just lead by example and show that, if that makes sense. And if that made you feel bad, maybe, you got something to think about and some decisions to make. And that's fine too. And maybe if you're being honest with yourself, you're like, I've been there too, kind of being lazy and using this as an excuse. And it's not a fun way to live. Like, it's not for you. And I'm not even trying to make you feel bad. Like, you will genuinely feel better if you know, honestly, I'm doing what I can do to try to make myself as healthy as I can, even though I got A, B, and C going on. That makes sense. So think about that. Sorry, that was kind of a little bit of a TED talk. I did want to update you all though. Let you know, I got a good thing. I think I'm hoping going now, and we'll see if it works. It's an interesting drug. I got 2 more of those infusions, and then it switches to like this proprietary auto body injector that like you have to hold on for an amount of time, and it like slowly injects. Kind of interesting. I've never done a drug like that. Done a lot of injections and pens and like prepped syringes. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, and I'm hoping for the best. And if any of you have an experience with that, let me know. It's called Skyrizi. I don't think I mentioned that. If anybody who's watching this, I'd love to hear about that. If you've had, no matter what the experience was like, I'm definitely curious. I haven't talked to anybody really that's taken this one, so yeah, it's kind of new. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that was a lot of talking. I apologize. If you didn't want to hear any of that crap, go ahead and skip. But, whatever. As always, thank you guys. I do appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.